Welcome to Grawlix Nights, the Grawlix Podcast live show. I'm Randy.
I'm Melanie.
And I'm Jesse.
Happy International Podcast Day, everybody.
Is it really?
September 30th,
What?
man.
Oh,
it
man.
flies up.
We're celebrating it.
I tweeted this morning, I said, happy International Podcast Day. One of these years, I'm going to organize another live stream celebration like we did many more years ago than I care to recall.
Right. Let's not do the math. Let's not.
For Electronic Media Collective. That was fun, but man, that's a lot of time.
Yeah.
And I'm too busy making podcasts right now to be worrying about celebrating them.
Sometimes podcast creators are like cats. Who knows this better than Randy?
That's true.
Has to wrangle cats. This is his job.
They sound like cats, and
They play with the cords like cats.
yes, they do.
They bat their microphones around.
See, okay. Hey, Paul, what's going on? He says, and I'm Moose. That goes to, okay. I work on podcasts, and I do edit a lot of podcasts for business podcasters and stuff. They're doing it all wrong. They're doing it because they want to establish a brand or get an audience. Mm-hmm. Paul's comment reminded me of my favorite podcast meme of all time, and it's the one where it's the guy sitting there with a bowl of cereal laughing next to a poster of two women laughing. So it's the whole thing of you're standing you're with friends, except they're not there. They don't know you.
Yeah.
That's podcasting, and that's the best reason to do it. And that's what Paul's comment reminded me of. And I'm Moose.
I'm here too in the show, except he actually kind of is because he's in the chat.
He is. Yeah, it's true. What's going on, Savannah?
And also, sorry, and a lot of our fans actually influence what we do and talk about, even when they're not on the sidebar. You know what I mean? So
yeah, that's true. That's true. It's for you, listener. And then every listener who ever hears this currently or in the future has to go, me, and then I'll go, yeah, you. Okay. Wow, what a start. So, Jesse, what's the topic tonight? Because
It's a monster of the week, baby.
I forgot. We're doing it. Monster of the Week. Monster of the Week segment. I'm excited for it. Apparently I was overexcited and announced it last week that we're going to do it this week, and then forgot because I was like, it's not October yet.
Jump the gun. Bang, bang. Mm-hmm. It's humorous horror was our aptly timed topic.
Is it aptly timed? Is there humorous things
I
going
don't
on?
know. I don't know. No.
Hey, not a problem. I've always got horror movies in my brain I can talk about. Mm-hmm. I was thinking about it before, after I found out that's what we're talking about tonight. I was like, oh yeah, well, hey, I'll just watch Evil Dead 2. Yep. Seen it so many times. It just played.
Right.
The whole movie just played in my head. Mm-hmm. Or Shaun of the Dead.
Right.
yeah.
Savannah
those are
said-
good ones. I decided not to go with anything good.
Well, depending on your pick, then I can switch gears because I have bad ones that are seared into my brain too. Oh yeah, Savannah's hit Shaun of the Dead, Evil Dead, Addams Family.
Addams Family ain't scary.
No, see, Addams Family is. Yeah, I mean, I
It's got horror tropes.
I
but
think it would
doesn't-
apply.
yeah.
Oh, no.
but Savannah can talk about the Greasy Strangler. Maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't seen it. Neither is Shaun or Evil Dead. Scary? Shaun of the Dead. We're just kind of getting into it. Shaun of the Dead, I feel like, totally works as a horror movie because it is a valid zombie movie. And zombie movies aren't always it's a different kind of horror than ghosts, if that scares you, or demonic possession or whatever. And I think Shaun of the Dead works in that there's stakes, there's risk. His mom gets killed in that movie. That's hardcore. Like, what comedy is like, hey, we're going to kill the main character's mom? And it's still a comedy.
The one I watched.
Oh
Yeah.
my God, really?
Savannah, I would agree. I would say Fido would count,
Yeah. Yeah.
even though it's mostly funny. There's still, a chance that things could go bad.
I guess Evil Dead is debatable if it's scary, because they're not really scary. The first one was trying to be a horror movie. And the second one was like, we're comedy now. It's the first one, but with comedy.
Like if something could go wrong and stuff stops being funny and everybody could die, then it counts, I think. But that wouldn't happen with like Addams Family, stuff like that,
What were you going to say, Jesse?
Well, I was going to say, so where does the Christopher R. Mim universe fit in this category? Because he's like paying homage to the horror movies of the 50s, but it's very firmly tongue-in-cheek, so it's like a comedy too.
You're right.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess. Sorry, Melanie. I didn't mean to interrupt your
No,
thought.
no, go ahead.
I was just going to say, that's the problem with definitively being like, no, that's not this. That's
Right.
not horror. Because I guess, I don't know. I mean, Addams Family, I guess, could be a horror comedy.
It's all subjective, because comedy is subjective, right? Like a lot of people will be like, that's not funny.
Does Young Frankenstein qualify? I kind of feel like if you wanted to get picky about it, and that's really kind of what these Monster of the Week segments have been, last year whenever we started doing them, is like getting kind of semantic. But are there moments where they are actively trying to be scary? Whether it works or they're trying hard or not, are they trying? And I feel like Addams Family doesn't ever try to be horror. Shaun of the Dead tries. Evil Dead tries. Fido tries. What was some... Young Frankenstein doesn't, I don't think, try to be actually scary. But I don't know.
Well, and so then some of the Christopher Mim might actually qualify too, because when they have a giant spider, for example, chasing people, that's supposed to be scary, even if really we know that it's not, and he knows that it's not. The original spirit of that kind of a thing would have, you think?
Yeah, that's interesting.
I'm just wondering.
The
'Cause
Wall
we were talking
People,
about it.
the Wall People had some scary stuff in it.
It actually did, yeah.
that was legit. That had some scarier imagery and stuff than most horror movies I've seen in a long time. I was gonna say most modern horror movies, but you know what? There's been a pretty good string of horror movies lately, so I'm not complaining.
Yeah.
And lately, meaning like the last 8 years or something.
And speaking of modern horror movies, we get Halloween Kills pretty soon, right?
Yes, yes.
Is that one coming to HBO Max? Did I read that right? Or is that
No, that's gonna
something else?
It's gonna be a weird one. It's gonna be in theaters, and remember, it was done last year, but they held it back because you have to see it in theaters. We're not gonna release it to streaming. It's gonna be in theaters and on Peacock, day and date.
Peacock?
What?
Peacock of all places?
What?
You know, when I think brand new day and date release horror movies, I think Peacock. That shows me that it's not doing well for them. That's like a grabbing at straws thing, even if it doesn't really make sense.
Peacock is like, hey, we see everyone else making some money but us, and we tried to get WWE money.
But they're not even. Are they associated with like a studio or something that would make that make sense?
Well, yeah, it's NBC Universal, right? So
Yeah,
Universal
NBC owns a lot of things.
And-
Is that
Okay.
part of the Comcast empire?
probably. Sure,
Okay,
sounds right.
okay.
Yeah, Paul says he believes it's in a Universal property.
So why didn't they make like a Universal channel instead of a Peacock channel?
Well,
Because or not Peacock, but
that's what CBS did ultimately. Like CBS had their own thing, and then they realized, oh, we need to rebrand it, so they rebranded it as Paramount Plus or something.
Right. Just the plus worked for Disney. Just stop it, guys. Whatever. It's still not quite cable yet, so I'm not complaining. You can still pick and choose, and that was the thing I always. You know what's funny about Grawlix? We've been podcasting long enough. I remember on this very show complaining about cable and how I wish streaming services were more like, you know how cable's like they lump a bunch of stuff. I just want to pick and choose. That way you don't have to pay that much per month. Well, we're there. We're there.
Mm-hmm.
That
people-
aged well, huh?
We're there now, and people are complaining, and I kind of feel their complaints. So, like, because it adds up quick. Because it's
Yeah.
not like I envisioned. It's not like nothing's grouped together unless you look at like something like Shudder or something. If you get into specific genres, it's still like you can't just buy. Oh, I just want this type of content. It's I want this, which has a couple shows I like and a whole bunch of crap I'll never watch, and this, which has a
Yep.
couple shows I like and a whole bunch, which is it is kind of just cable, but it's still a little bit cheaper. So
well, especially like Hulu, where this
Oh.
is how much it is, but if you pay this much, then you don't have to watch commercials, and if you pay this much, then you can watch it live. And I'm like, that much is basically paying for cable again, you know?
And this is the cheapest that HBO has ever been.
Yeah.
HBO has that too. Well, not the live thing, obviously, but HBO has the ad-supported tier, but it's lower cost. Like what they kind of launched at, what I consider their normal price is still their normal tier without ads, and I'm okay with that. If you want to knock down and do a cheapy tier, fine, but don't like increase the price of your regular tier and then throw ads on it. I don't like that. And the price of Hulu, their ad tier is what I would price a regular tier at. So like, nah, I don't like that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
they have shows. They have shows, a couple shows that I like, like the Wu-Tang show, which is not the actual name of it.
Welcome to the Wu-Tang Show.
That should
It ain't
be a
nothing to mess with.
That should be the name, or that should be a show anyway. I don't have anything to say about that this week. I haven't watched this week's episode yet. I have been slowly catching back up on Only Murders in the Building. Only Murders in the I think that's what it's called. I talked about it a little bit, I think, previously. It's like a comedy type show with comedy thriller, I guess you'd call it, with Steve Martin and Martin Short and that woman. I can't remember her name. That young hip woman who was probably like 15 years ago. She was popular. I don't know.
Yep.
Oh, right. Who was somebody asking about?
What?
Paul
the
was
YouTube.
asking about YouTube, so.
You even went to the comment to not derail the show, and I derailed the show.
I tried.
No, as you can tell by our wonderful money duck over there, we're being cheap right now.
He's up there. I hate
We're being cheap because I was on the fence of if I wanted to continue paying for StreamYard and maybe try something else. Well, the something else doesn't work very well for streaming, and I just haven't bought StreamYard again. So we're on just Facebook right now. This will get uploaded to YouTube later, though. That's what I did last week. So.
Yeah, if anybody knows of anything better than StreamYard for streaming that also has good audio, that would be wonderful.
Yeah.
Let us know.
This podcast is not made out of money. I wish I could afford the $50 a month tier for StreamYard to get the separate audio tracks recording so we could actually have nice sounding podcast audio later. I'm not doing that. $50 on top of podcast. Listen, podcasting is not a cheap hobby, guys.
No.
Well, it can be.
That'd be bucks on ducks.
It used to be a cheap hobby, man. I had worked out a way in the beginning that we were hosting our files on archive.org.
Right.
And I wasn't paying for nothing. But that's not reliable, so don't do that.
Then we had one reputable guest, and it was like broken.
Yeah, one of our first, notable guests. And that's why you don't host on archive.org. Maddie D says, if only there was some way to Patreon your show. You know what? It's funny you would say that because there is. Go to patreon.com/Grawlix Podcast. You can join Maddie D or Savannah, who is almost contractually obligated to have a shout out every episode because she's a cat dancer.
That's right.
What's that mean? Go to patreon.com/Grawlix Podcast to find out.
Yeah.
It doesn't just mean that she dances around with her cats, even though she does. It means
Does she?
other stuff too.
Okay. I never asked. How are you two doing, by the way?
I'm
Hanging
alright.
in there. I'm like that cat poster, hanging in there.
Yep.
Remember that
That's
from
cute.
the 80s?
It's adorable.
Old. It's classic, though.
It
It's
is.
like Garfield hating Mondays. It's a staple.
So, before we dive, this episode is hanging in there.
It
It's a
really
little
is.
all over the place at the beginning.
Yeah.
here.
It's held together with staples.
And by the beginning, I mean almost halfway through. Okay, roll sense along those lines because I don't want to keep people up super late tonight. Oh, Maddie D, you got a jet? Okay, he's got to put kids to keep it lively. To bed, he meant.
Yeah.
I was a jerk and read his typo. I'm sorry. But there will be more words from Maddie D shortly. We're going to use his, he sent us an email. Classic segment.
You
Did we
guys
ever
can
have-
send us emails. Was it letters@grawlixpodcast.com?
Letters at grawlixpodcast.com. It gets checked once in a while.
Yeah.
It gets a lot of spam too, so
And if we like you, we might read it on the show.
fortunately we like Maddie D. And
Yeah.
let's let her back just for a moment. And first, let's talk real quick about what we've been watching lately, because there's a couple things that are notable. Jesse, it looks like you jumped ahead of us on Rick and Morty. I think.
Well, I missed a couple in the middle
Oh, okay.
because they fell behind the paywall, and then I binged the last 4 or something like that because I did not want to lose any more of them, and I was hearing things about the season finale, so I wanted to see it before it got spoiled for me.
Oh,
We haven't seen
that's
it
probably
yet.
something I should watch, huh?
It's
Is
pretty
it good?
great. It's pretty great. Yeah.
Is it?
It's so weird though. Like this season is strange in that, like it starts very episodic, the Rick and Morty formula that's very like it resets itself, like The Simpsons, like that kind of thing where it starts and ends in the same place, or we'll start the next episode kind of ignoring what happened. But Rick and Morty is kind of like jumped in and out of this idea of continuity for a long
Right.
time, and like the last 3 or 4 or 5, like even one that I did not see was being referenced in the episodes that I did watch. Like the last 3 or 4 are linked by at least one event.
Yeah, Rick and Morty is kind of fascinating in that respect because there are through lines. It does refer back to things that happened before. Yet you'll get those episodes like the one where with the decoy families, where it's
Right.
like you just watched so many different versions of them get killed. Like who knows who was the
Yeah.
original group that we started with, even at the beginning of the season. Like,
And it doesn't even matter
No.
at a certain
Yeah.
point. It's just like, as long as one family survives, I guess it's fine.
right?
But is it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Nothing.
Okay. I always feel bad because I dominate the conversations. So every time I hear a breath, I'm like, Yes, I want to let you speak. Okay. Savannah said I paid for the PBS Docs app on Prime, so I've watched a lot, but you guys don't like what I watch. I mean, it's
I think we like to watch the kind of stuff you watch more when we weren't sober, maybe. um,
all
but
kinds of things are interesting when it's enhanced.
This is like Nova, like episodes of Nova.
Antique Roadshow.
I love Antique Roadshow.
That's the original American Pickers.
Savannah says, all I'm saying, Ken Burns is awesome. No, I mean, listen, there's nothing wrong with the documentaries, and documentaries can be fascinating. But it is outside of the scope of Grawlix. It's a little bit.
I mean, half the time what I watch on HBO Max is their documentary series. So
Really? I never watch any of them, really. I watched the Bob Ross Netflix one a while back. I'm pretty sure I probably talked about it on the show, though.
Yeah.
yeah.
But that's the most recent one. Well, speaking of Netflix, Melanie and I have been all excited for this show. This new show. We might have mentioned it. Savannah says the Bob Ross one is sad. Yeah, kind of. I mean,
really is,
it
yeah.
is. It is for sure. I wish they would have been able to get more involvement with more people. And not to say like the viewpoints that they put forth weren't valid or weren't accurate, because those are probably the people I would trust more on the matter. But it would have been cool if more people would have been willing to participate. It really does just bounce between like 3 or 4 people the whole thing, which is a little weird for a documentary, but or at least
Kind of like that limited scope, though, almost underpins the idea that like it's almost like an art mafia. Like you're not allowed to talk about Bob Ross.
right, right.
It would be a real shame if a happy little accident happened.
Oh, when they went over the guy overseas who like didn't really know any of them, but like worked for the more modern Bob Ross company, like his little bit, I was like, oh wow, okay, yeah, that's shady, man. Anyway,
Well, the fact that the son can't even use his own name,
right.
It's like, what?
Yeah.
Well, you know what's maybe not sad, but maybe is, because it's Mike Flanagan, and he likes a heavy dose of depression with his horror.
He certainly does.
We're really teeing up our topic this week with depressing horror
I know. You know what?
and Rick and Morty.
So, I fully intend to talk about this series after we finish it. Melanie and I have been watching Midnight Mass, which we were super excited for. I was super excited for, anyway. And we're 2 episodes away from the finale. Wait, we have 2 episodes left. And so I don't want to really get too much into it. I know I'll want to talk about it more after. And maybe my opinion will change after. It probably won't, though. And I also don't want to give away spoilers, because I feel like the trailer... Remember we said the trailer felt like kind of underwhelming? It's because the trailer leaves out like very important stuff that essentially... You don't really know what it is you're watching, like what you're getting into, because there's a huge blind spot. And I don't want to spoil that, because it was such a good twist for me, in my opinion. And it's not really a twist. It's just at a certain point you get a reveal of like kind of what's actually happening. And it was so refreshing. And it was something that I had wanted to talk about on Grawlix a little while ago. And I wish I had. That way I could have been like, see? But, yeah. So that said, it sucks.
No, it doesn't.
I love it. I'm loving it. It's so good.
In the beginning, I was very worried. I was like, I don't know, this one might not be that great, but it's gotten much better. But I do have one criticism, which is I like Mike Flanagan. I like his wife, but she doesn't need to play a major part in every single thing he makes. She's not good at subtlety, and unless it's a big dramatic thing, he doesn't need to have her in the role, in my opinion.
I think it's fine. I agree with you. Okay, so it's really good, and it has that. I don't know. It's that like at this point, like trademark Mike Flanagan tones. Like you can see his inspirations in everything he does, but it doesn't. Maybe homage, if anything, but it doesn't come across as like unoriginal because he has his own thing, and he always leans heavy into like there's a lot of character stuff. It's about it's human drama. Like all of his horror stuff is about human drama with horror stuff. And I feel like it's usually pretty balanced. This I really like the balance of it. The human drama versus the horror and how it kind of ties together. And also just kind of, I don't know, philosophy, I guess we'll say. Whereas like Bly Manor was okay, and he didn't direct, he didn't have as much involvement in that one as like this or Haunting, whatever it was,
Hill House.
Hill House. But Bly Manor, I felt kind of the scales were going a little bit too much drama, not enough horror. And this one I feel like is a real good mix. But it also feels like classic horror. And my point with leading into all that is there are some great performances.
Yeah.
All around. Like all the key leads, maybe with the exception of what Melanie was talking about, are killer. Like knocking it out of the park. And they get quite a bit of range. And like some of my favorite characters, it's kind of funny, but I feel like none of it is like, it's not funny because it's unintentionally funny, but it is unintentionally funny in that way that sometimes even in real life, people just say things or deliver things in ways that are humorous, right? And like there's so many good lines and deliveries in this where it's like, I know it's not supposed to be funny, but man, that was like I laughed quite a bit at some of the characters, but in a good way.
Yeah, but we're gonna talk about it more later. So let's save some.
Do you want to? Okay. Did you want to say any more about it?
Not yet.
Okay. Point is, I go watch it. Speaking of cat dancing, because anymore when I watch things, when I'm like, should I recommend this to Jesse? I always think, are animals being killed in this? Because
right.
Jesse will be watching it by himself. I feel like for the most part that I've seen so far, it's okay, except, and you don't see them get killed, but there are a lot of dead cats in the first episode and the beginning of the second.
Yeah.
But it's like a horror thing, right? Like, where do all these dead cats come from? But there's a warning, I guess. So I might be hard to get Holly beyond that if it's her kind of thing at all. Anyway, I don't know. But after that, I feel like I don't think they're. Oh no, never mind the dog. Okay, yeah, no, she's not gonna watch it.
Yeah, no.
I forgot about the dog.
Generally, yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah.
I get it, but there's things where it's like Watchmen, where I'm like, oh, but you gotta watch it.
I know.
They murder a whole bunch.
We couldn't get through the first, and like there is some bizarre stuff that goes on beyond that first episode, but it was that first episode of Watchmen where she's like, "Yep, I'm out." And then it was like, "No, but that was it. That's it." And then something else happens. I'm like, "Okay, maybe not quite it."
Yeah.
I just seen your pick. Okay, that's great. Yeah. So that's a bummer if you can't watch things where with animal. I guess.
I mean, I'll
whatever.
watch them, but I just I wait until she's not around because
Right.
Yeah.
But anyway, I still have 2 episodes left, but it's a recommend from me. It's my favorite thing I've watched in a little while. So.
Yeah.
Okay. You're right. I'm sorry, Melanie. Let's move on.
Oh, that's fine. And I'm usually right, but it's okay.
Okay, well let's.
I wish I could refute that. I can't. She's usually right, especially on this show.
No, you were all right. I just felt bad because I felt like I was dominating the conversation again. That's my job.
Yeah.
You steer this ship, even if
Yeah.
it's going right into the Titanic, which is going to hit an iceberg. Like, we're in a 2-car pileup with an iceberg.
I'm steering it. You're not going straight. We might be going in circles. We might just be diving straight to the ocean, and it's not.
we
a
may be
submarine,
aiming. We may be aiming for inevitable doom.
but it's being steered somewhere by someone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That someone is me. Hey, so did we use? Did I guess it was just letters page. Letters page.
There it is. See, right for the iceberg. We're good.
The Grolix listen, the Grolix podcast proper. It's been a long time since we did one of those. All right, so
Yeah.
forgive me for forgetting. You know, the regular staple segments that we did for years on end, including emails specifically from Maddie D. So he sent this to me this morning, and this should have been my first clue that we were going to be talking about comedy horror tonight. He says, "Hey, you gaggle of great Grolixers. So it's been a while since I popped in on your live show. Life has just been so busy." I don't know this attitude I'm reading it with. I'm assuming he didn't write it with
This
it.
is the sassiest Maddie D. He's
Maddie D is feeling
so
sassy tonight.
busy.
I just finished listening to the audio presentation of last week's episode. I'm glad then that I put it up on like the episode before. I now have the Clerk song Berserker stuck in my head. Thanks, Jesse. Sarcasm, he says. If you're not familiar with it, you're, I don't know, 12, I guess. If you're not familiar with it, go back and watch the scene in the first Clerks film where Jay is introducing his cousin from Estonia. I want to make Grolix Berserker. Are you making Grolix Berserker? My love for you is like Big Truck Berserker. Oh yeah,
Ticking clock.
Paul knows. Well, on another note, I can't wait to hear about your horror show of the week. And although I can't always watch a live stream, hey, it was nice to have him here for a moment tonight,
Yeah.
though. I look forward to hearing what you all have to say. I also wanted to put in my 2 cents and say that Tucker and Dale vs. Evil is a comedy horror staple. I totally
is.
agree. Wait, Savannah's never seen Clerks?
I don't know how, but
How?
apparently not.
I know she's a little bit younger, but Melanie.
I know.
I assure you, we're open
How
to
have you not
discussing
seen
it.
Clerks. Oh man.
I'm surprised I didn't make her watch it. Really, yeah.
Even Paul's like, "What the what?" And he's 60. He's on the other. No, he's not. 60.
He remembers he remembers when black and white wasn't just a cool thing; it was the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I also wanted to put my 2 cents in. Okay. Comedy horror staple. I would recommend it. Talking about Tucker and Dale vs. Evil again.
Not Clerks, no.
Not yes. I would recommend it to anyone who loves a dark comedy with a smack of horror. The smack of horror. You'll laugh, you'll cry, and you'll cringe at the guts. There is some gore too. Like, yeah, it's great. Well, continue that classic podcast tradition. Yep, yours truly, writing into the show. I just wanted to say, keep up the stellar work. Digging it as always. Your fellow friendly fan in Farmland, USA. Hey, we live in a Farmland, USA too.
We do.
Maddie Boom Batty D. I kind of like that.
Wow.
P.S.
The Mr. Boombastic.
Is Savannah even supposed to be here today? That was Paul's comment just now.
That's from Clerks. He's not being mean.
Right. It's so weird that we have to explain it. Savannah, that's from the movie Clerks.
To couch that, yeah.
It's a bit of a 90s classic film.
Classic,
Get, like-
classic film. Oh.
I must
Even
say,
Kevin Smith threw up a little.
yeah, I was going to say, it felt wrong to get snotty about Clerks. 37. Okay. Or was
No,
it 36?
So I thought it was in the 20s. I don't know.
27.
That feels right.
It's been a few years though. They're up to
Yeah.
Clerks 3 now, so it's
Yeah.
probably at least 37.
I think he just rapped on it because he's actually podcasting again.
Oh, really? Okay, P.S. May I suggest the puppet horror genre, i.e. dolls, puppet
Oh, you
masters.
may. Oh, you may.
Possibly Poltergeist if you count the clown doll, demonic toys, Dead Silence, Annabelle, and I'm sure a slew of others. You may suggest that, Matt, and I think that is actually an excellent suggestion.
Let's say, have we already done it? I mean, I'm okay with doing it again.
I think we did.
We did do evil puppets.
But you know what? There's no harm in doing it again. There's been new stuff that came out, right? And he's not necessarily even saying they have to be puppets, because he's talking about creatures that just are puppets in real life, I think. Because if he was saying, what did he say? Read it again.
May I suggest the puppet horror genre?
Uh-huh.
Dolls, Puppet Master, possibly Poltergeist if you want to count the clown doll, demonic toys, Dead Silence, Annabelle, and others.
Okay, never mind. Maybe it is just toys, but that's fine.
Paul says we did puppets, but not dolls. I think, yeah, I mean, I'm down for it. I'm down for it because we did evil puppets specifically as the monster, but we didn't think of it as the subgenre of puppet or doll horror.
Yeah.
Paul says Annabelle is not a puppet. Annabelle
It's like
is
body
also-
horror, but it's like somebody else's body, like an inanimate body, not body horror.
Yeah.
Totally different.
Annabelle is also not a movie I care to watch, but maybe it's good. I don't know.
I've not heard great things about it, but
I don't watch.
I guess
that
somebody must
slow-
like it because they keep making them.
That's some ratchet
Yeah.
horror.
Ratchet. That's some horror smack.
Yeah,
Smacks of horror.
but the bad smack.
Yeah. The bad smack. That's our episode title.
Bad.
Grolix Nights.
The
The
bad
bad smack.
All right. Well, I actually need to start writing these down when we say them, so because I tend to forget. So, the bad smack. I'm gonna this weekend when I get the episode ready and get the post ready, I'm gonna be like, the bad smack.
Yeah, context.
Our episode titles are so like inside joke. We don't even know what they're about.
Yeah. We tried doing SEO. It didn't work, so we're back to nonsense.
You're right. It did not. If you look through our podcast feed, nobody's going to, but if you do, you can see where it's like, oh, Randy was like obsessing about SEO and getting listeners, and that lasted and it's done. Back to
Yeah.
weird titles.
Right.
Because it made
And then,
no
then,
difference.
then there was like this moment where we tried to like finesse it and be like, we'll put what we're talking about in there, but we'll also be weird. And then we're like, no, that's no fun.
Only because this gives me an excuse to talk about my keyboard. Savannah S. says, Randy, do you have a keyboard from the 80s? I'm guessing she means because it was super loud when I typed that title just now. And not like...
Clacky, clacky, clack.
It is very clacky. It's very clicky. Because at a certain point, I discovered the joy of mechanical keyboards. It's amazing. And I love them. None of that little like rubber cap crap. Admittedly, though, quiet, cheap keyboard button. This has got a mechanical switch in there, and it clicks and it clacks.
It's steampunk. It's got a robotic owl inside that types the correct letter for you.
It is not hipster. Talk to anyone. Talk to anyone who has to type, a typist or a writer for a living. Ask them what their preferred keyboard is, and yes, they will have a preferred kind of keyboard.
Randy has a type.
Yeah.
Yeah. Boom, boom.
Steampunk is sepia goth.
Hmm.
That's
Yeah, kind
interesting, but I don't know.
A little less
Kinda.
sad, but kind of sad.
I guess in appearance, yeah, kind of. But
It's more like sepia glam, isn't it? Would it be more glam than goth?
little bit,
'Cause
yeah, yeah.
They're not so sad and scary, but they're definitely dressed to the nines.
So,
Okay,
I don't know
So-
why we got pedantic about that. That was dumb.
because that's the show, man.
So-
That's
we're
the show. That's
ready for the
welcome to
bad
the
s-
show.
You ready for the
bad
bad smack?
yep.
There we are, the bad smack.
hmm
That's a new T-shirt.
I like it.
We
Okay.
used to slap a Grolix on it. Now we got the bad smack.
that's when it goes wrong. Okay. Yes. I'm gonna throw it to Jesse first. What did you watch in turn for your
God.
comedy horror pick this week?
I'm so excited to talk about this movie. I did this to myself. I don't know. Like I kind of have a special place in my heart for this movie. And it is kind of funny, but like I find myself laughing at it and be like, God, this is stupid. I watched Idle Hands from 1999.
Ah.
So we were like just at the dregs of the 90s, you know, like it was like, you know, all the cool things about the 90s. Yeah, we were starting to leave it behind and do something dumb. So I don't know, like this is I mean, there's things about this movie that I kind of love, and there's like references to this movie that I had in my brain, and I'm like, wow, that's where I got this line. But it's got 15% on Rotten Tomatoes for a reason. It's not great. I don't know, but it's also, I guess this is a cult classic, right? Like people who love it, right?
I remember a lot of people loving this movie.
I own it. I like it enough to have paid money for it.
I kind of liked it. I mean, I don't remember it being especially intelligent or anything. But it's it's like a stoner
They
horror
spent,
comedy.
But they spent like a lot of money on it. Like it has a legitimate composer. Was it Graham Neville or whatever his name is? Not Neville. I don't know what his name is, but he did The Crow. He did like a bunch of things. So it's got a legitimate composer. It's got like a pretty good soundtrack for that time. You know, so like this would be post grunge because we're almost out of the 90s. It's got, I think Offspring is in the movie. Like the Offspring guy is on stage and gets the top of his head ripped off.
Yep.
Yeah. And yeah. Oh, Static X is a big has a big song in there. I believe they have like a White Zombie or it'd be White Zombie or Rob Zombie maybe at that point track that they play at least in the movie at some point. And then they just continually play Shout at the Devil. They just continually play it every time a certain character is on screen. And the guy's not even like a Satanist or anything. It's like, why do you always play that song for him?
I was maybe by 1999 I was a little bit of a horror hipster, going back to being a hipster, because I was like, so they took like the best, like they took like the best scene of Evil Dead 2, added some stoners and made a whole movie that's that.
Yeah.
Not interested. I have seen it since, but yeah, I was
And
not
it's
interested
like
when it came out.
it's like Scary Movie before Scary Movie, kind of, and it's like Shaun of the Dead before Shaun of the Dead, but like it's so much more a parody of itself than anything, you know. Like it's almost Scary Movie.
Let me ask you this: if this is the comedy that gives horror films the backhand, was it a good smack or was it the bad smack?
I don't know. It had to be a bad smack because Idle Hands are the devil's playthings.
Right.
Oh my god.
This is also his Buffy appearances aside. I kind of hated Seth Green at this point too. I don't know why.
Sure. Look at that cast, man. Like everybody but the main character went on to do something, even if they peaked. You know, like Jessica Alba, like she peaked and disappeared into nothingness. I don't know. Maybe she's still working. I don't know. I don't remember anything she did past Fantastic Four 2.
Devin Sawa's still doing stuff. He was just recently.
Is he?
He's worked with Fred Durst from Limp Bizkit. He was
Is
in
that
movie
is
with
that
John Travolta?
working?
Where he,
Is that working though? Is that hanging out with your pals who also don't work anymore?
I didn't watch that movie either, but right. Well, here's what I like, and for people who haven't seen Clerks, or they're probably too young to remember the '90s or weren't born yet, because at this point you can have never been alive in the '90s and you can go drink, so that's weird. But here's some of the recommendations on this page based on this.
no.
The Faculty.
Oh,
I don't know what that is. The Haunting of Molly Hartley. Teaching Mrs. Tingle. The horrible, horrible remake of The Haunting. Oh, that movie's terrible. So, like, that's a good indication of the time period. Like, that's where horror was. To be
Hey.
fair, though, like, these
really
aren't
quick, sorry.
this isn't terrible, but
Savannah said Devin Sawa liked one of her comments recently on Instagram, so he's doing something with his life, right?
man, he's liking Savannah's comments.
Yeah.
That's
Don't
the
get me
high
wrong.
point of
I
his
like
career.
him. My favorite of his moments is in SLC Punk, where he's like, "The devil's in the house, man." And he's like, "I'm here on this post because everything else is water. How are you doing that, Heroin Bob? You walking on water, man." Mm-hmm. Like he's done some trippy, fun roles, but
And maybe he doesn't need to work because he was a child star. He was in like a whole bunch of stuff when he was a kid. So maybe he just saved his money and now he can be that guy that stands on posts and is weird.
I mean, he was the one in the first Final Destination, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
he
yeah.
was. I think that's kind of the thing, though. Like he was a kid actor, and then also kind of like got heartthrob teen leads in a couple movies in the '90s, and then Savannah says he's got a few kids. He does the dad thing now. Well, yeah, that makes sense.
more power to him. Yeah.
I'm sure he's.
Was
done
it the
other
guy
stuff,
who
though.
does Randy is in this movie is actually like I was like, where is this guy from? What do I remember him from? He's in Event Horizon. He's the
Oh, yeah?
guy in the airlock, and I'm like, what? Oh
Really?
man, everybody in this movie has went on to do other things. It's like this had to be like one of those Coke movies where it's like, let's make this thing. We got some money. It cost like $25 million to make. It was a huge flop comparatively.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do remember hearing that. Okay, yeah. Idle Hands. So, 2 questions then.
yeah.
It sounded like you enjoyed it before. Mm-hmm. 1, does it hold up? And 2, would you recommend it to somebody?
So bad. It's so bad. No, it does not hold up. It is so a time capsule. It's so a product of its time. But like it was still entertaining to watch. But it's got like
Right.
so many of these like cringe-worthy moments, like words that were still being used a lot at the end of the '90s that you just can't say anymore, and for good reason, right?
That's who that guy was.
Yeah,
trying to place
yeah. No, and he's crude. They're so crude. Seth Green and Foggy. That's what I know him from. Foggy, and then Quack, Quack, Quack. He's a mighty duck. Yeah, those two, and they're just inexplicably zombies in this movie. They were just like, yeah, we were gonna follow the light and go to heaven, but it was really far. Mm-hmm. That's why they stick around in the movie. They continue in the movie, and then they do this whole like. Okay, so that's one of the things I guess I wanted to talk about was like this movie is on such a premise like the things I respect about it and enjoy about it are also things that annoy me. Like, why did you take all this time to like explore the idea of Foggy Nelson's character, for example, loses his head, is decapitated, and they spend so much time on the fact that he's decapitated, and they even feed him a burrito, and they're like, man, how do we like, we gotta use some duct tape now so that the bean burrito doesn't leak out of your neck hole. Like, they spend a lot of time on that. It's only an hour and a half movie. Like, why do we spend time on that? I don't know.
In concept, it does sound fun, right? It's
Right.
just not one of those movies that like really sticks the landing.
No.
I remember being okay with it, but I thought it's been a while since I've seen it, like quite a while. But the thing I remember liking the least was the Jessica Alba stuff. Like they tried to
Yeah.
add, like America always does. They tried to add in this romantic aspect of it that I thought kind of derailed it from the thing that about it that was good that would have made it an okay movie. But
And it's vapid too. Like it's like in no universe would he wind up with her for the antics that even the evil hand had a hand in. You know, like it's like, no, this doesn't work on any level. This is stupid.
yeah,
Yeah, and then Vivica Fox, man. Whew.
Is she
She's young. I mean, it's just like a weird role for her. She's like a druid, and then she what's that whole thing where they're like, we've got to save her before the stroke of midnight, or else the hand is gonna drag her to hell. And he's like, oh, it's okay. It's only 8:00. We still have like 4 hours. I got plenty of time. He's like, no. According to druid time, you have 6 minutes. Like, what? Like, that's the kind of gold we're dealing with here, people.
right?
And it's funny. It's weird. It's campy for sure. And so, like, there are a lot of things I really love about it, but, like, I also have to admit that it's so dumb. It's so dumb.
Right.
Like, what I like about this movie is so dumb.
Right.
It's so dumb.
Especially as soon as like a thing gets pegged as a stoner comedy, it's
Yeah.
so many movies can't, especially 90s movies, can't help but just like nosedive way overboard into just dumb territory. They're like, well, it's
Yeah.
just a dumb stoner comedy, but it doesn't have to be like
Well, and that stoner comedy thing, like, nothing matters once it's a stoner comedy.
Right.
You know, like, it opens with both of his parents being killed, and he, like, is freaked out for, like, a whole 5 minutes. And even when he's burying his parents later and his friends, he's just like eulogize, or like, I don't know, monologuing / eulogizing about how he was, like, maybe not a good son when you say it out loud,
right.
It's like, man, like, just nothing impacts him, even the fact that he is the killer. He's just like, you have to leave. I shouldn't be here right now. You need to go somewhere else. But, like, really, he doesn't feel like he's taking it seriously even then.
Right. Well, that kind of then robs the horror aspect of it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
Like,
no
nothing feels like it has
stakes,
stakes, really. Even
Yeah.
your dead friends come back as zombies because they're too lazy to go to heaven.
Paul says it's the horror equivalent of Dazed and Confused. I mean, Dazed and Confused, though.
That was more like a time capsule. That was
Yeah.
more like a period piece that had stoners in it.
Yeah, Dazed and Confused. It's not that it doesn't have stakes. It just doesn't like. There's not really plot. It's not, and that's not the point of it. It's just like
Right.
following these people, and I've met people. I always like Dazed and Confused, and I've met people who don't like it because they're like, nothing happens. It's not about anything, and it's like, well, yeah, but that's kind of the point, and it's actually manages to still be, in my opinion, entertaining. Whereas, I don't know. I guess, Dude, Where's My Car? I only ever seen it once. I did not like it. It was not good. And this falls a little bit towards that territory of where it's just dumb. They just throw dumb stuff at it. And, I mean, this starts with fun horror premises, but man.
Right.
You're missing some comment gold, baby.
Okay. Paul says, you know what I love about zombies? I keep getting older and they stay the same age. Okay, that is pretty good.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, yeah.
They really do.
Savannah says it's the 70s version of American Graffiti. Yeah, I've heard. I've actually never watched American Graffiti. I know it's supposed to be a kind of a classic, but like, I'm not interested. Did George Lucas? No, or was it Opie? Opie's in it. I don't know. One of those
I
two.
think it is a Lucas property.
I think so too.
I don't know.
I don't care about George Lucas's teenage years, or his fantasy of what his teenage years should be. Shush, Savannah. At least I watch Clerks. Clerks is the American Graffiti of the 90s, okay? Kinda.
Yeah.
They weren't in school, though. They were kind of losers outside after graduation, but still.
Had Collective Soul on the soundtrack, so you know it was good.
Oh yeah.
I kind of really want to listen to some Collective Soul now. When was the last time anybody talked about Collective
When
Soul?
was the last time anyone said that?
Holy crap. Listen, they did not have Bite. Definitely
Let your
not.
light shine down.
They were a little God Rocky,
Yeah.
but Wookiee came from the set of American Graffiti. Interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't watch American Graffiti? How old are you? Savannah says, and then she says she's being sarcastic. I mean, I watch old movies, though. Okay.
Okay.
Well, I'm going to jump into mine so
Do it.
that when Melanie does hers, she can't blame me for pushing it super late. And I'm going to be super quick. So I'll just kind of keep it as a recommendation, but along the lines of Jesse's, if you want to see something like Idle Hands but done properly, Evil Dead 2.
Oh, weird. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a great horror comedy and also kind of a weird movie because it is essentially a sequel, but at the same time a reboot of the first Evil Dead. That series rebooted itself, and then the third one I've heard argued, and I wouldn't totally disagree, that is not even a horror movie at all. It's such a weird but fantasy.
Yeah. It's almost a fantasy movie at that point.
Right. What a strange franchise. But yeah, Evil Dead 2. It's great. I don't know that the horror is scary, but it's a scary situation. Like if you step out of like Bruce Campbell's ashness and like analyze the situation, which is kind of like what they tried to do in the first one, because
Right.
Ash, as the way that we know him, wasn't really established till the second one. Like it's a scary situation, and he doesn't have friends that up there. He has a girlfriend up there in the second one, but anyway. Is it because his hand actually idles?
Because it's got a chainsaw on it.
He sang funny
Ah.
like, oh, blah, oh. That's not his hand though. His hand scurries across the ground and gives him the bird.
That's,
and then runs
hey,
into a mouthful.
listen, that's what I saw.
No. Anyway, listen, it's Evil Dead. It's groovy. Swallow your soul. Swallow this.
Dead by Dawn.
Dead by Dawn. Dead by Dawn. It's so good. So
I love that sound of the Deadites like encroaching on the cabin. Like that's
Right.
one of my favorites. We're just going.
Sam Raimi, like, as a director, and like, I remember being so disappointed in the first Spider-Man movie because I'm like, I don't see Sam Raimi in this at all.
Right.
Spider-Man 2, we at least then you get to the Doc Ock like surgery scene, and I'm like, that's pure Evil Dead. The camera
Yep.
work, it's got the like that bone saw thing that it even does like chainsaw style. I'm like, that's pure Evil Dead, and the camera work is interesting and unique. Sam Raimi has such an like in the Evil Dead movies, even the first one, interesting use of the camera, and I think Savannah says she took a photo of Sam Raimi and Bruce Campbell. With Sam Raimi and Bruce Campbell. Yeah, she sees all kinds of cool horror people. Horror people. I don't know if I pronounced that right. Sorry. But even weird things. Like, I think they do it in both the first and the second Evil Dead where the camera will just move, but there's a sound that accompanies the camera moving, like it's a physical object, like a like outside of just like the evil in the woods.
Yeah, yeah.
Even in the cabin, sometimes it'll be like, and it's like, what is the?
Or like a creaking almost, like creak. And
Yeah.
yeah.
The camera itself is a weird part
It's
of the
not
possession.
subtle at all, but like in a cool way.
Yeah, it's super stylized, and I think really there's the horror aspect, the kind of the fun, at least of the first one, the fun low budget thing, and then the second one of just like the outrageous blood and gore mixed with comedy, and also Ash is a great character. That with it being super stylized really like kind of put me on to a lot of horror stuff when I seen that when I was younger. So anyway, Evil Dead 2, go watch it.
Okay.
Great horror comedy.
You know what else is a great horror comedy?
What?
Slither.
Slither. I'm so glad that we're
Slither.
going to talk about it again.
Yeah, and it's not necessarily as funny as a lot of horror comedies. It has a lot more horror maybe than others, but it's still really funny to me. It's got what's his name? Nathan Fillion. Is that his name?
Yeah.
Is the main character, and he's great in everything. And he's very funny. But we don't need to tell what it's all. Oh yeah, so whatever. I'm telling what it's about. It's basically a small town. An alien lands there and then starts like attacking people and taking over. It's gross. I'll say that. It's very gross.
What?
But also very suspenseful and stuff. And
Gross.
oh yeah. But it's very funny too. And it's just it's really good. I recommend it to anybody who likes horror, or even sci-fi maybe.
I don't know. With a poster like this, I don't think it's going to be that gross.
You don't think? Yeah, they're like big tongues. It's so. Ugh.
It's amazing. So I'm glad. I maybe people do know Slither, right? But nobody talks about, or it doesn't get talked about a whole lot. If you watched Guardians of the Galaxy 1 or 2, or the recent Suicide Squad movie, and you thought, I wonder what it'd be like if this guy did a real gross horror movie with. I'm pretty sure those are some CG monsters, but also some like good, nasty horror effects. Watch Slither because it's James Gunn and it's amazing.
It is.
Obviously it doesn't have like, I don't know. He has such a kind of over the top but offbeat sense of humor that comes across in his superhero stuff too. But he got his start in trauma movies. So like he has a certain sensibility that's still like that he retains now still, but like it's more evident in Slither, and not in that like it's a cheesy movie, but it's horror and gross horror, but with tongue in cheek.
Because they look like tongues.
Yeah.
Yeah, and even look at the overview. Taken over by an alien plague, turning residents into zombies and all forms of mutant monsters. That's like 3 or 4 different scary things, all in one movie. That's funny. Also, it's freaking great.
Paul says Tromeo and Juliet, baby. Did he do Tromeo and Juliet? Because I never watched that one. I remember hearing the title and I was like, oh my god, what? Really? I kind of want to watch it if that's one he was involved in. Yeah, that's a great pick.
65% user score should be higher, but whatever.
Yeah. It's the kind of movie where it's comedy enough to where it's not going to be taken super serious by film snobs, but it's like gross and weird enough to where general audiences are going to be off put by it.
Yeah. You know what it reminded me of? I know it's actually kind of completely different, but it reminded me a lot of Arachnophobia, like the feel of it.
Right. Yeah, yeah, that's a arachnophobia, but less family friendly.
Yes. Yes.
Paul says he was AD, assistant director, on that movie. That was Gun's start.
On
Cool.
Tromeo and
Okay.
Juliet. Yeah. Savannah says, "What is Tromeo?"
I'll take horror subgenres for 1,000, Alex.
Really? We if we if we throw trauma in the mix as a subgenre, like that's considerably limiting the scope for that week. But I don't think we've ever talked about it. Really talked about a trauma movie on this show.
No, probably not. I
They're
don't think-
they're, they're difficult sometimes.
Yeah,
They're difficult.
I've only watched one or two, and that was long ago in my USA Up All Night phase. So.
That is, yeah. No, that's it. That's exactly where that belongs. Those are the kind of movies. Toxic trauma. Yeah. Okay. Paul said it there. Romeo and Juliet set in Tromaville, New Jersey, which is where most all of the trauma movies. Paul says, "OMG." I went in for trauma talk. I'm sorry, I have to. I can't. I even will. I've
Oh my
typed
God.
OMG, but I can't read it in my head or out loud without thinking, OMG, gag me with a spoon. Even though that's kind of mixing decades, but still. Yeah, okay. Trauma will be another week. So
So we've got
next
dolls?
week we're gonna do dolls,
or puppets, whichever.
doll horror,
Okay.
doll horror.
Oh, I forgot to mention in Idle Hands, there's that scene where, for whatever reason, in the school there's a room full of puppets, and of course the demon possessed hand that's already been lopped off at this point inhabits a hand puppet at one point, and they can even make the hand puppet stoned. Sorry to jump back, but it was like he's got like an evil face, and then later they blow all the smoke into the hand puppet, and then he's got I'm like totally stoned face, and then he like falls out of the hand puppet. But like that's the cartoony level that Idle Hands takes it to.
I mean, okay, I know stoner comedy isn't the genre we're talking about, but
Right.
Cheech and Chong movies would go there sometimes, and they're not all gold, but they weren't just stupid all the time. I mean, the characters might be stupid all the time, but the movies themselves weren't stupid and didn't necessarily always treat the viewer, and that's maybe a bigger part, treat the viewer like they're dumb. And then one of my other favorite, and maybe it doesn't hold up, it's been a long time since I watched it, but mentioned, our favorite pair of rappers to talk about on the show. It always leads to good Apple reviews. How High with Method Man and Redman.
Oh yeah, for real, yeah.
I always thought was like, oh, that's actually a really good stoner comedy because it doesn't like, it's got stupid stuff in it. It's goofy. They smoke some weed that was fertilized in their friend's ashes or something, and then they can see their friend's ghost when whatever. I don't know. It gets ridiculous, but it didn't feel like you're watching some. Everybody loved. What's the one with Chappelle is great in it, but everybody loved
Half Baked.
Half Baked, which is like the
Yeah.
big
Yeah.
90s stoner
Right.
comedy.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's so stupid though. I kind of didn't like it. So, How High I thought was good. It doesn't treat the audience like they're total morons and Cheech and Chong. So like you don't have to do that. But whatever. That's a tangent. Obviously,
I
that's
think they
something that-
probably did have to do that. Like, you probably weren't allowed to make, you weren't allowed to normalize pot smoking.
Oh, that's a good point. That's a good point, and that's kind of something. Even though Cheech and Chong would be goofy about it, they're Cheech and Chong. It was normal for them. They didn't care. They're going to normalize it.
Yeah.
And that's kind of something I guess How High does a little bit too. Whereas in the 90s, you had to be cartoony about it.
Yeah. There's a handful of movies that get away with it, but like, otherwise, it's got to be so over the top and almost like you're throwing your life away.
Well, over the top. We have a theme going. Like there's puppets, then stoner comedy, and then trauma. I mean, we're getting like more and more out there.
Savannah says stoner horror.
I think we just covered that, didn't we? That and Scary Movie, where they basically get Ghostface stoned at one point.
I wonder if there's more. Is there more?
It's got
Yeah.
that's a pretty narrow.
Oh
niche
yeah, no,
there.
there's stuff like Evil Bong, which is like
Oh my gosh.
You're right. You're right.
the
yeah, Full
crap
Moon.
that
I
somebody
forgot about that.
scraped off the bottom of Idle Hand's shoe after it was in a nasty public restroom. That's what Evil Bong is.
Same
I'm not-
company that makes the Puppet Master movies.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh God, that makes me
Yeah.
worried for Puppet Master stuff. I'm not watching Evil Bong, any of them. I know there's a couple of them. Although, is that the one with the couch that eats somebody? I seen a TikTok.
I think so. Probably.
I seen a TikTok and it was great. This lady was loving it. Anyway, Paul says honorable mention for this week: Nightmare on Elm Street 3: Dream Warriors. Is that wait
I love that one. That's like one of my.
As a
that-
comedy, yeah.
as a comedy?
I think that one. Well, I don't know. I don't know if it's a comedy, but
I'd
it's-
accept part 2. It was more of a comedy. It's not
Yeah.
intentional, but there's some hilarious stuff in that movie.
I guess maybe some of his like Freddy's lines in 3 are okay,
Yeah.
but the kills in that one are great, and it's probably the best of all of the Elm Street movies in my opinion.
Paul says it's goofy.
Except maybe one.
Goofy as Grawlix.
Mhm.
Well, he didn't say Grawlix. He said a
Gorsh.
Yeah, wait. If it's the one that's maybe if it's the one I'm thinking of, then I think it's the best one.
I feel like, oh man, Nightmare on Elm Street gets so much goofier. Not in a good way though. It gets so
Right.
much goofier.
It does.
Was it the Dream Child? Is that 2 or 3 or
No.
4?
No,
or
it's
5?
a little bit later.
It's at least 4 because 3 I want to say is the one in the mental hospital.
Yeah, that's
And
a lot of
that's-
people's favorite or second
Yes,
favorite.
it is the best. It's the best one.
I mean, the first one's the best one, but that's one
Yeah,
of the
you're
better
right.
sequels, in my opinion. I guess I shouldn't say that definitively.
Yeah.
Okay, well, Paul says it's the best of the series, but also has the funniest bits. Yeah, I mean that's on the fence because I don't know that I'd classified it as that. Because even though they were trying to do funny stuff, I feel like they weren't necessarily trying to make a comedy.
Yeah.
Freddy's just funny, yo.
Yeah.
Yeah. He always tries to be at least.
Oh man, Freddy vs. Jason has some real stupid, bad 90s ish.
It really
It was
does.
post 2000, but
Yeah.
90s ish stoner stuff in it. Complete with their own Jay ripoff. Why not just try to get Jay in there?
He'd probably do it.
Oh, yeah. Is there anything he's turned down?
What if stoner horror included Clive Barker because only someone on drugs would come up with that crap? Okay. I'll write it down, but remind me, everyone here, next week. Okay,
Before
so
next week.
No, remind me. Okay, so next week, here's what we're doing for the episode. Are we going to do doll stuff next week?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we're going to ask. Never mind. Show me on the doll. That's where I was going. It was not a good. It wasn't funny. It wasn't a good joke. Anyway, and I didn't even know how to really segue into it. So, okay, that's what we're doing for next week.
Uh-huh.
I will remember and I will watch something new or something for the episode. But then remind me that Trauma will be the week after.
Okay.
And then we either need to do like psychological horror or drug horror, which
Trippy horror.
Yeah.
Ooh, that could be
Trippy horror could get, yeah, we could get some fun. I mean, color out of space. you
That
know?
was
Yeah,
my go-to.
yeah.
That gave
Yeah.
me an excuse to rewatch Color Out of Space or Mandy.
Yeah,
I
either
don't know.
one of those are both pretty trippy.
Yeah, I've
There's
heard some
some-
people debate that Mandy's not horror; it's a revenge thriller, but it's got horror themes, man. And
Yeah.
those bikers, I don't care if you say they're on acid.
They're
There's some,
bikes.
they're like supernatural demons.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you have to summon them with a conch shell or something.
Yeah.
Like what? Like that's not normal.
And
Like,
offer them a sacrifice. That's
Yeah.
not just acid,
No.
drugged out bikers.
yeah.
Right.
It's crazy evil.
Yes.
Such a good movie, man. That's Nick Cage used right, and he even comes across as kind of subtle most of that movie. So,
Yeah, yeah.
We might have to rearrange the schedule though, because
oh,
Paul
Paul
says
says
he-
you'll miss Trauma Week.
yeah.
Okay, well,
We could be trippy.
Yeah.
So the 14th of October is out for Paul. Well, next week or the week after for Trauma Week.
Yeah.
Paul, let me know. Let us know right now. Actually, yeah, maybe do let us know right now, which would be better for Trauma Week, because I'd like to settle it before we get off of here, which we need to do real soon.
Yeah.
I know this is dangerous, but we've got to at least acknowledge it on the show.
RTD,
RTD.
Russell T Davies is coming back to Doctor Who. It's amazing. It's who knew? Who would have seen it coming?
I thought it was a joke. I thought this isn't real. It can't possibly be real.
Also, it's Savannah's boyfriend's birthday. Savannah has a boyfriend? Hi,
Yeah,
Savannah.
you know that.
Happy birthday!
I don't know. I don't keep up on her love life. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, I talked to you about it, but that's
You tell
That's
me
what
about,
happens when you're a cat dancer. We'll talk about your love life, kinda, sort of.
one of us will.
You're
one
welcome.
of us will, the others will act indifferent. I know, no, I mean, I did know, but I'm not good at keeping track at. Okay, well, I'm not good at I don't know. I never know.
Mm-hmm.
Why would I know though? I've never. I don't think I've met him. So if I'd met him, it'd be different.
Mm-hmm.
But what were you just
Happy
saying?
birthday, anyways.
What were you
Yeah.
saying before that? Russell T Davies. Yes, we don't have to go on about it, but Paul the first place I seen it, Paul, because all news originates from Paul.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
Sent
Twitter.
me a link. He sent me Paul beat Twitter just because I hadn't been on Twitter yet that day. He sent me a link, and I was like, "What?" And I clicked it, and I read it, and I was like, "What's this website?" And I'm not remember. I'm sure it was something reputable. But then
It's
I
like
went
the
and Google
BBC
searched.
News. Yeah.
Well, I went and Google searched
Oh,
it
yeah.
anyway, and then I shared the BBC News just so that there wasn't question, because it is such a like.
Yeah.
And the website that Paul sent me was fine. It was absolutely correct, but I didn't know it. I didn't recognize it right away, and I was like, "But BBC News, like, they're not going to run
Yeah.
with that if it's not true."
I read the BBC News article and still questioned it. I was like,
But
is this real? Is this true?
Do you guys think it's a good thing?
It depends on how long he's staying.
Ooh, interesting.
Like, if he's just going to be there for a series, it's probably fine. I think it's a good thing regardless.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to see him stick around for more than a season, because if it's just like the 60th anniversary special and a season, which I think is what I'm reading, is that he'll basically come on, do the 60th, and then have at least one season.
I hope he sticks around longer, but I mean, just that's fine.
Here's my
When you-
thing. Here's my thing real quick. Wouldn't it have been great if we had gotten at least one season with him writing Jodie Whittaker's
Yes.
Doctor?
Yes.
Because
Yes.
he brought us 9, he brought us 10, he brought us Donna, he brought us Jack Harkness, he brought us everything that's sassy and fun about Doctor Who in those early years.
That's the thing, because like the stories themselves, like there's some great ones, there's some terrible ones. There's a couple
Yeah.
RTD
Oh, yeah.
episodes that are just bad.
Yeah.
But the characters were always so good.
Mm-hmm.
So good. Like rewatch, I talked about it every episode that on this recent rewatch that we did. I was like, I'll rewatch this and blah blah blah, and I was kind of surprised at like during my rewatch, Donna was one of like the main companions that stuck out in my mind. She's
love her.
handled so well, and she's so not the kind of character I would like.
Right.
But he does characters like he comes up with.
She was the
great characters.
perfect companion for that season. Like, it was just like such a palate cleanser. I was like, I love this character. And I did not like her in her first episode.
And then the other thing I was kicking around is like, well, more of the same. If it's the same Doctor Who stuff, isn't a bad thing. But like, is it just gonna be more of the same? But then if you think about, I don't know, tonally it might not have varied all that much. But even from 9 to 10, and I know, of course, the actor has a huge role in that, but very different doctors. The companions, the companions all felt like different characters. And this could be debatable, but even the Moffat era, like Amy and Clara and River were different characters, but they all had similar flavors. They're all
Yeah.
the same kind of character. He Moffat liked a certain kind of, like, maybe not sassy, but a certain kind of strong
It's a
female character.
pseudo romantic, flirty nature.
Yes. And RTD characters were more varied than that, I feel like. I'm super excited. And I could be wrong, but I feel like he would also maybe have the guts to, like, if not undo maybe some of the questionable choices. I don't know that he'd undo some of the questionable choices that Chibnall went with on this last season, but twist them around in a way that they're not so crappy.
Right.
He's pretty good about that kind of stuff.
Probably won't get a Christopher Eccleston return during his era, though.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, it is disappointing that he's one of the ones that Eccleston clashed with.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
that's
had to be.
unfortunate.
I mean, he was steering the ship, so he had to be
Right.
one of the problems.
That's unfortunate.
He certainly wasn't the solution. So
Yeah. Oh well.
Okay, Paul says, side note, Troma would be great for 21st. He'll be releasing a great companion piece that weekend. Okay, so next week is Doll Horror. And then on the 21st, we'll be doing Troma something.
Okay.
I wonder how hard it is to track down the Toxic Avenger cartoon from the 90s. They made children's cartoons based on Troma stuff. And Toxic Avenger isn't like, well, but it's Toxic Avenger. Did you watch that movie? It's got some horrible stuff in it. They're remaking it with, what's his name? Which would sound like a horrible idea, except it's got Frodo. Is that it? Frodo is involved.
Elijah Wood. Yeah.
Elijah Wood.
oh yeah, he's
And
creepy
he-
anyways. Yeah.
He loves weird horror stuff, so I'm
Yeah.
kind of... I'll give it the benefit of the doubt. He loves weird, campy crap. Oh, it's on like 4 apps. It's on like 4 apps on Roku for free. I guess that is that is the kind of property that's like... Well, I just... It's either like just shovel that like Toxic Avenger cartoon out for free, or it's just disappeared off the face of the earth.
Yeah,
One or the
it's-
other. It's
yeah,
not
it's gonna
highly
be
coveted.
One or the other. Yeah.
Hey, Melanie,
Yeah.
what should we be amazed about? Unless people had more to say about RTD.
Nope.
I mean,
We should be amazed about scientists being dumb. I think maybe not really, but
Oh, I like this. It's a twist.
no, it's just okay. So scientists accidentally discovered some galaxies that were hidden, and they said at the edge of time, which made me think of Doctor Who, but is really not accurate because it's not the edge of time. It's just the edge of where we can currently see. But anyway, so they were studying some galaxies, and they were like, there's a weird glow going on behind them. So they like zoom in on the glow, and would you know there's some more galaxies farther back in the past, hidden behind some dust or something. And they're like, well, there's probably a whole bunch of galaxies back there. And I'm like, right, because we can see that far now. So that's probably that's why I hate when they do stuff like at the edge of time. It's
Did
not
the scientists really think? Okay, because at one point I come across something where it's like an illustration of like the universe, and it had clearly defined, and this is where the edge of the universe is. There's nothing beyond this, and it was like a perfect circle around the Earth. It's like, or is that just where you cannot see any further?
Yes, that's it's the edge of the observable universe.
Observable
being-
universe.
it makes
is
us
fine.
the center of the universe again. Well, hubris.
Yeah.
It's a thing.
That seemed so idiotic. I was like, the scientists don't really believe that. Like, I'm just some random idiot who's seen a picture and was like, no, you can't be serious. They really thought that though, huh?
So now that they've seen some stuff there, they're gonna start searching more. And I think they have to use different settings on their telescopes or something maybe to find them. But now that they know they can, they're gonna start looking harder. So that's going on.
I guess I get like that's as far as we can see, so we're not worried about it right now. But like being like, oh wait, there's stuff back there. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's like walking around your house and be like, there's a whole yard back here. I'm pretty sure I didn't think that existed.
I've never seen this side of the house. Huh, I got a back door.
There's a street over there with all kinds of houses. Who knew?
Yep.
Oh, I wanted to comment on Paul said in terms of a Toxic Avenger cartoon, or on Troma Now for $4.99 a month with a free 7-day trial.
That's not a real thing, is it?
I hope it is. Does Troma have its? Does Troma?
Oh,
listen,
no.
Does Troma have its own streaming service? That's appropriate. I'm telling you, Mim, we need a Mim Plus or a Mimiverse.
I think he's got a Roku channel. We have to look for it, but I think he's got a channel on Roku.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he does. I think I subscribed to it or something.
Oh, I found watch.troma.com. Oh wait, no, that's not the channel.
That's not
No wonder
it.
that
That's
seems-
Troma Now. Paul swears it's the real thing.
Troma.vhx.tv. What is that? It? At least that one has an SSL. Start free trial. Oh, this has got other weird stuff on it though too. I don't know. You know what? I believe it though. Paul says yes, it is. Okay, I believe it and I support it. Not monetarily. I'm not gonna give him $5 right now, but I support the idea of it. Jesse, you got anything exciting coming up? You should tell me to tell anybody.
Hey, if you are literally on the stream tonight, like Paul is, you can come to Grand Island tomorrow, or Saturday, or Sunday, because this Grand Comic Con is happening. It's actually happening. It's I didn't believe it.
Actually,
I don't
physically, people will be there in person.
Yeah, people will be there. You should probably wear your masks. I'm just gonna say that, but yeah, we'll be there, and yeah, I'm gonna be there, and Paul, like I said, Paul will be there, and some other people will be there, like super friend of the show, Axton Kaler, the other half of Tank Zombie Studios, arguably the smarter, more handsome half, but I have more hair than him. I do have that going.
You should
for me.
always lord that over him too.
I do have that. I don't even need to. Like, other people will lord that over him. It's like, wow, it's nice that you gave that hairy gentleman all of your hair, Axton. Like, it'll be totally unsolicited, and they'll just give him a hard time. But that's where I'll be this weekend, so you can give me a fully hand sanitized high five, and then I will hand sanitize it again.
All right.
Paul says he's always wondered, is he the tank or the zombie? You kind of know the question or the answer in a way.
You know, which came first? I don't know.
The tank or the zombie?
I don't know. This is the world we live in, man. I don't know.
Okay. I don't think I have anything else super exciting coming up right at the time being. As always, I have maybe some stuff I have a Halloween album I'd like to release that I've said that for the last 2 years. So will it happen? I don't know. It's the same album. I've been remastering some of the tracks when I have free time once here and there.
Free time.
In the like asinine idea that I might actually put the album together and release it this coming month. Yeah, some of those songs are from like 2015, 14. There's some old songs on there, but they're new to you. So that might happen. We'll see. Paul, everything's in the
Fair play.
hashtag 100 the 100 limbo.
Hello, can you go?
That's how I feel. No, not really. That's like kind of like darker than I had hoped.
Man, just got hit with that bad smack.
Fat smack.
All right. Thanks for watching, everybody that's been here or will watch in the future. Thanks for listening. Future podcast listeners, I'll get this out on the podcast feed. And have a great weekend, everybody. If you want to hear more of this, go to grawlixpodcast.com. It's GRAWLIX podcast.com. Or slap that at the end of a patreon.com or a facebook.com or a youtube.com. Most of the .coms.
We'll be there.
We'll be there.
Bad smacker Grawlix on it.